What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another one from Purpose Partners Podcast, man. I definitely appreciate all the love and support that I've been getting out there, man. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification button. Whenever I drop content, you will always be always in the loop. So don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. One of the things I tell people is that you don't want to miss it. None of this is fabricated. This is my life. This is my journey. These are the things that I'm going through. These are the things that I'm overcome. These are the things that I'm maneuvering through, making through. I just want to make sure that I do my part. One of the things that bother me so much is watching other people go through something that's already been go through, where you can just simply just ask, and if you can't ask or whatever, you can look on social media and you get a chance to see exactly how to conquer that thing, how to get over it, how to move past it, and everything like that, man. So I definitely hope I say something to inspire, to help move on to the next level, to help get you exactly where you need to be and everything like that, man. I'm just trying to do my part, man. So don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe, man. I definitely want to get my followers up, and everything like that, man. Just to, more people hear the story, man. More people get saved. More people, you know, go through life and don't have to worry about, oh man, what I'm gonna do or anything like that, man. So definitely like, definitely share, and definitely subscribe, and hit that notification button, because when you hit that, you will always be in the loop of my content, man. So I appreciate all the love and support that I'm getting out there, man. So I want to hop right back into it. So if you've been following my life on social media, I've been uploading videos. Some people always ask, like, why you don't be doing it on all the other days and stuff like that? Because these is real life situations, and these are the things that I am going through and stuff like that. And I always want to find the right words to say, because I always want to make sure that you know I reach the person that supposed to be reached. The Bible says what comes from the heart, it reaches the heart. And if it's not from the heart and it's just fabricated and you just talking on social media just to get followers and all, it doesn't work out that way. People just look at it as just another message or whatever, and just fly past or whatever. And that's exactly not what I want to be, man. I want to make sure that when you hear my voice, you can hear the pain, but you can also hear the conquering of whatever situation that I'm in at that current moment as I'm filming. So it's just a little input on the whole filming process with me and everything like that. So if you've been following my life on social media, I have hit a brick road. I started off the year, feeling very good. And if you ever know something, like if you ever like just in those modes and it just feel like nothing can stop you, that I realized that Denzel said it best. When you at a peak or you're at your highest, man, that's when the enemy would kind of take you in. Because one thing you got to understand, the enemy, the devil, is to kill, steal, and destroy. Like he doesn't play fair. So if he see you somewhere and you're close to, what the promises of God have given you, or whatever you searching for, and everything like that, that's his job not to let you get there. And a lot of us are going through some of the major attacks right now, on our mind, because the enemy wants to confuse us. It wants to be stuck at these dead ends and stuff like that. It don't want us to pass or anything like that, because once we pass, it's not going to only benefit us. It's going to benefit people around us, because now people going to start asking questions. Hey, how did you get there? I know a lot of times a lot of people don't like to share their process or whatever, and they don't know how much it would help somebody else, man. So that's one of the things that the enemy would try to do, and make sure, nah, you don't need to tell your business. You don't need to know. So that's one of the things I try to make sure that I'm always doing. I give it to it like raw. I make sure that this is the full experience. But one of the things, the job of the enemy is to do, to make sure that you don't get there, but to also don't allow you to help other people if when you get there, or whatever. Not if, but when you get there. So I found myself in a brick road. And let me tell you something. One of the things about myself that I love and hate at the same time is that when I find myself in a brick road, or a brick wall, or whatever, fucking road, whatever you want to call it, I tend to like to think a lot. I like to sit there and I like to strategize. What did I do wrong and all that type of stuff. And I realize now today, this week that, you know, that's a pattern for me. A lot of us, we don't really know patterns until it actually start to happen. We don't really pay attention because we sit down and reflect, but we don't really think about this happened before. I've seen this before, and when I find myself in those moments, and the more and more conscious and aware I become, because self awareness is definitely important. You definitely want to have self awareness. I realized, I said, man, you know what? I've been here before. I was feeling good, and I had the momentum and stuff like that, and boom, a brick wall. And I'm trying to get around it and everything like that, but it just wasn't budging. And you know, us as people, we can stop there and we can start all over, which is cool and fine though. But one of my biggest things that I'm working through right now is not only to just get past it, but to make sure that I don't see it anymore. I'm learning how to change my perspective on these things. I'm learning how to change my point of view on these things because I realize that not all dead ends are bad. I realize that there are some dead ends. Some dead ends was meant to stop us so we can figure this thing out before we move on. Because one of the things you have to realize is that when you going for something, when you going for the impossible, you asking God to do the impossible and stuff like that, we don't really know the bigger picture. We don't know that if we was to walk into this excuse me, if you was to walk into some money or wealth or anything like that, we don't know that 2-3 years from now that we was gonna help another person and they was gonna help another person. Now it becomes a trend of things, and now people are starting to be a little bit aware, more conscious and stuff like that. So we don't really know the full effect of us making it to that next level. So all dead ends is not bad. Some of those are meant for us to actually stop there. And as for me, I realized that I was meant to stop at that dead end because now it's time to, really become conscious of not facing that again. Like not being aware that when stuff is going on, to continue to do the same thing but intensify just a little bit more. Because when that thing come, you just I'm good. I'm good, and that's one of the things that we have to realize. We get the chance to trip over. The Bible say to trip over the snares and the serpents and all the air, that nothing won't touch us, and we will continue to go on. But you have to realize that the higher you go in life, the more you succeed in life, the more conscious and aware you become in life, the more the enemy will try to fight you, because the enemy don't want you to get this information out. So you have to continue to build yourself up every single day. One of the things I tell people every single day, that it's a constant battle to get to a new place. If you've never been to this place, your family never been to this place, your friend never been to the faith, it is a constant battle every single day. You have to stay well grounded every single day. Just a split second, because one of the things I realize is that during these times, I like to sit down and I like to think. And one of the things that the Bible said the devil will come to steal, kill, and destroy, which is cool. And it's like, me personally, I would sit there and I would just think about this over and over and over, trying to play out different scenarios. What if I did that? Like Doctor Strange, when he was just looking in a million other ways. That is me. And one of the things that I realized, that when I stay there for so long, that means my mind is occupied on something else. My spirit is occupied on something else. And one of the things that happens in those moments, that the enemy come in and he take what God has given for you. And then when he take those things and you finally come aware and stuff like that, you start all over and going about your business or whatever. And when something was supposed to come to you, a dead end. Now you're trying to figure out, I don't understand. I did everything right. When that dead end came, I figured out how to get to the next level. Yet we did figure out how to get to the next spot, but what we didn't figure out is how to beat that last spot. We didn't figure out on how to allow this stop right here to be our last stop, that this pattern doesn't follow us. Because what we don't know is that we can make it through stuff, we get delivered from stuff all the time though, but just to make sure, that's what I love about God, just to make sure that we're fully delivered, the same situation would just come right back around. Oh, you said you delivered. Oh, you said you this and this and that. God will send a situation and say, I want to test that. You speak these words, you saying you a millionaire, you saying you a husband, you saying you a wife, you saying all. I want to make sure, because I want to make sure when you get to that position, you're not having thought. That's one of the things I had to learn. You don't want to make it to a spot and you still having small thoughts like, man, I hope I make it. You way past that. Why are you thinking about that? That is over with now. You were here, but that's what we have to defeat, when we stop at these dead ends nowadays, because now some of us are closer than ever. Some of us are about to open up doors that's never been opened. Some of us are about to make ways that ain't never been seen in our family, our friends. We're about to be that one person. The Bible explains, they say one from among them. We're about to be that person to start a new thing. One of the things that my pastor always say, he said that the cemetery is one of the richest places in the world. You know why? It's because there's so much ideas, so much money, so much everything just sitting there, and now it's there. So that remains one of the richest places in the world. But one of the things I tell people all the time, that every single day something new is happening, a need to be met. And if we're not in that position, because everything has a time and place, everything has a time and place, so everything has an appointed time and place. I'm gonna keep saying that, because one of the things we have to understand is that when we find ourselves in these brick walls, we can't just sit there, we can't pound it there, we can't use substance because it clouds us and stuff like that. And there's supposed to be a time where you're supposed to be like, oh, I'm good, and you fly over that and you make it to your destination, where what you were supposed to get is there, and you not only got past it, but you overcame it, you defeat the pattern, and now you can tell somebody behind you. I always tell people, one of my biggest things is that I want to make sure that the people that come behind me have something. But I also tell myself every single day that I have a lot of growing up to do as well, because if stuff happened in the past, we fall out or whatever, and then it comes to times I gotta, I gotta have like, I don't want to do that. But I realized that that was the whole purpose of all of that. So us as people, when we hit those dead ends, we have to understand that they're not all bad. Some are bad. Some are meant to stop us dead in our tracks. Some of us, need to be stopped. I learned this. I tell God all the time, I'm thankful that you didn't approve that at that moment, because I probably would have blown in. I don't. Of course we not. Of course we gonna say, nah, I ain't gonna do nothing like that. Of course we gonna say it, but just imagine if God was to put $10,000 in your hand, $50,000 in your hand. Some of us, man, we never had a whole bunch of stuff. Like we go shopping and stuff like that, but to go into a mall and get everything we want, oh yeah, oh. I'm gonna put that money back, or you know what? I'm gonna make that money right back. So I'm just gonna do it. Or we get that house, and you know, yeah, man, I ain't doing it. Our house that became the party house in the midst of all that. Now we partying, and God just sitting there like, I knew I shouldn't have gave that brother that house, or that sister that house. I knew I shouldn't have did that. They peeing and begging for this house, but they didn't turn it to the party house. So if you get that car, God, if you give me this car, I promise you I'm gonna do right and all that. Now you're missing work and all that type of stuff. Like it is so much that we don't realize that God saved us from. And I tell people that all the time when and it's tough to say. Even just saying that right now, it is tough to say. Sometimes a lot of us, we sacrifice stuff because we want to see other people happy and everything like that. So it is definitely tough. So some dead ends are meant to be right there. Some dead ends are to stop us right there in our track, because that's God's way of saying, I can't allow you to go on like this anymore. I can't allow you to carry us. You are better than this. Do you know that you are more than a conqueror? Do you know that you are a millionaire? Do you know you were supposed to cure cancer? Do you know that people are waiting on you? Like, do you know these things? Like, and that's God's way. That's God showing love. We may not look at it as love, but that's God's way of showing His love in there. And I learned something in this, that we're human, and sometimes when we find ourselves in these dead ends, we need to give ourselves a little bit of grace, because we try to do, everything ourselves, because that's the only way we've been taught. The ones before us, our parents, our grandparents, they didn't, fathers, they never really showed us anything. So we're just going off on, what we know, because we don't know God well enough to actually continue to seek His guidance. We will be there for a couple of weeks, a couple of days, and next thing you know, It's not there. We just, all right, God, I got this. I'm gonna do this on myself. You taking all day. I wanna. You show me the route. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and that's the way that we do it because we're human. We're not taught to, to really learn how to be stable. And I'm not, and I would tell, I would never use anything as an excuse. Like at the end of the day, it was our job to learn it, whether who teaches us or not, who give us the knowledge or not. It is us to learn these things as we go on. And if I'm out of some of us, as such as myself, we don't get a chance to learn it, and we find out later on in life. I wish I would have learned it, but it's only one person that we can fault, which is ourselves. So all dead ends, as I wrap up, all dead ends is meant to stop us. That's God's way of saying that He loves us. Now there is some dead ends where the enemy would try to stop you. There are, because He doesn't want you to get to the place that you need to go. But I want to tell you right now that you're amazing. And if you make it, I might even say if, when you make it, so many other people lie. One of the things that my pastor always says, success is not based on what you did. Success is about who you help after that. All these people that went on to be in eternal glory, went to sleep, passed away, all that, and there's no successors around. There was no people to take over. Look at our cities. A lot of these places was owned by so many seasoned folks, some of the most nicest and amazing people that you can ever meet. But you know what happened? They passed it down. The children never really learned the business and stuff like that. And then when they came in with the new plan that they want to build for our cities, they just throw money. Oh yeah, I would take that, not knowing that that's a trademark. So it's important that you know how amazing that you are. It is important to know how strong you are. The Bible said that God's grace is sufficient, which means He knew we was gonna mess up. He knew we was gonna mess up every single day. God knows us like the back of His hand. That's why He said that I'm not mad, because I knew you was gonna mess up. We all fall short every single day. We fall short every single day, and we have to give ourselves a grace to say, all right, man, we made some mistakes, but now it's time to go. Because one of the things that I'm seeing is that us as people, we will start over instead of building off that particular spot right there. We will start all over. We will, all right, go in and move this out the way. We will start all over, not knowing that there's something still behind us. Now it's called a pattern. And not only does it call a pattern, our kids start to follow a pattern. The people that's following us, they starting a pattern simply because no one chose to solve it. We just, you know what? I got it. I'm back. I'm rejuvenated. I'm strong. I done prayed. I listened to my gospel music. I done went to church. Oh, and I move out the way. Because one of the things you have to realize that God's word will never, deplenish from us. He made us a part. We are a part of God, which means if we speak to a mountain, if we just have the little faith of a mustard seed, it will move out the way. Simple as that, though. But one of the things you have to realize is that you have to make sure that everything is handled in those situations. So all walls, all dead ends can mean something different. But I realize that some dead ends are good. Some dead ends are meant for us to handle what we need to handle right there. No access until you figure out that you really want to be here. No access until you start to think better. No access until you start to feel better. I need you to be here, because one of the things I realized that, God talked to me about is that a lot of people make it in life, but they fall down. A lot of people saying like, God is exposing the church world, but God is exposing the real world. Look how many stars are leaving every single day. Some are passing away, some are being exposed right now today. So it's not only just happening in the real world, it's happening in the church world. Some of our church people that's been major, and they start to fall down. I don't care what nobody say. TD Jakes is American pastor. He is American. We listened to that man since he first touched that pulpit, and wherever he was at, that man and got us through so much. So those allegations against Bishop T.D. Jakes, you can do what you want to do with it. But let me tell you something. It was those messages, because before Joel Osteen broadcasting and all the other people, it was Bishop Jakes that got us through those times. So That I'm gonna say that. But God really does care about us. He really does, because He said when you in those moments and you face with that dead end and you feeling weak, instead of going, abusing substances, going to smoke weed, going to have sex and all that, because one of the things you have to realize, a lot of mistakes come out of that. A lot of mistakes coming out. I learned early on that a lot of mistakes come out of when we in those type of spaces, because we're not thinking good or any of that stuff, man. So a lot of bad things now. Instead of coming out conquering something, we came out with kids. We came out with a habit that picked up 3 times more. So it's so much that goes on in those dead ends if it's not handled carefully. And when you find yourself in this moment, as I close, I want you to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, but always stay aware, because the enemy loves to come in when we at our lowest. But I pray on today, when you at those moments, that you stay sane, that you stay aware, that you let the enemy know I'm more than a conqueror. Even during my weakness, God's strength is made perfect. You start talking back to those things that's trying to come up against you during those moments, because we can't see it. We can't see the invisible. But when you feel like you're supposed to get something, let's you go feel that. Hey, you got my, hey, I feel like you're supposed to give me some of that though. You never made it. You never, it never happened. So all dead ends are not bad. All dead ends, some dead ends are good. Some dead ends are meant to help us. Some dead ends are meant to break us, and never. But in the midst of it all, when you find yourself in that position, take some time, deep breaths. Control your thinking. Don't allow your thinking to just go out of control. Don't just, oh man, I want to party. I want to get out and all that. Don't allow that stuff to happen. Don't allow bad decisions to come on you. Just sit there for a second. Take some time. Take a day or two. Go to a hotel. You got kids, and send the kids somewhere. Do whatever you have to do. So, and then when you finally get yourself in a place of peace, you build off that moment. Don't start over. Build off that moment right there. Because if you start over, then you're going to have to go through that same pattern all over again. It's going to keep coming. One of the things I realize is that if you don't handle problems, they don't just fade away. They just stay there. Even if you deceased from this world, the problems stay here, and your kids will have them, and then their kids will have them. They call it generational curses. So it is best to solve these problems when we get to those dead ends, because the world needs us. The world needs us every single day. There's so much going on. Just imagine if you was meant to be a cop and you was supposed to be in a certain place at a certain time. You can stop certain things from happening, or you can be on a judge bench, or you can cure cancer, or you find a cure to diabetes. Whatever the case might be, you find exactly what you need. Because let me tell you, the world is changing every single day, which means there's a need that's happening every single day. And I pray every single day that you stand on your game, every single day that you praying, that you seeking out for guidance, and that when these problems come, you don't just pass them all over. You don't just, I'm over this, and you just set that problem to the side, because we do that. It's best to solve right then and there, so that way you never have to worry about it ever again. When they come back around, I see you, because you mature since then. You can see now and everything like that, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all for listening, man. This is something that is strictly from my experience. I hope I helped somebody out there, man. I hope I said something that what got you out of your dead end, or if you haven't got to a dead end, you beat it before you get there, because when you go to those dead ends, us as human, sometimes we don't psychologically handle it well. For me, early on, it was to just have sex. I'm just thankful that God spared me on not having a kid, because let me tell you something. I couldn't handle some of the stuff that people go through right now, as far as the babies and you know, the baby father. 'Cause I just be looking like, whoa, like you're going through a lot, man. So I'm blessed. You know, some situations where I just, you know what, I'm just gonna chill to myself and gave myself time to think. But in the midst of that, though, I did realize that some stuff was being taken away from me. So now on this day, on some whatever March 2nd, 2024, I realized that only in a split second, only a split second, only in a split second, that you take that time to yourself. That split second could be a week, or whatever. But don't allow it to go on, you know, any more than that, man. So I definitely hope I said something, man. I mean, I didn't get my jogging pants. So I definitely hope I said something, man. I definitely, you know, I pray that, you know, that we just come together. Our world is missing unity so much because nobody wants to talk. Everybody wants to talk about the good, but nobody wants to talk about, you know, what's really, you know, going on and everything like that, man. So, you know, I hope I'm saying something. I hope I, you know, help somebody out, man. And please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. I haven't been working on that part right there. If I'm honestly, I just came in, you know, tell my story, but you know, I'm realizing that I want to make sure that I'm heard all across the world. I want to make sure that, you know, people can hear, you know, the testimony, you know, that other people will go through. People can see the comments like, oh, one day if you feel like you want to ask some questions, man, definitely ask questions, man. I am here for you. We are brothers and sisters. I love y'all. I don't care if we never met. I love y'all. I want to see y'all succeed. I want to see, you know, great prosperity. I want to see your kids. I want to see everybody. I want to see families be families again. I want to see all that. And my experience can help that. Man, definitely like, definitely share, definitely subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification. I got so many videos inside my phone, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Damian Ward, DAMOND. Last name Ward. I am on last name Ward, WARD. I'm on Instagram, same. I'm on TikTok, the same, and I upload there every day. You know, when it comes to making longer videos, I have them in my phone. But if I'm honest, I just be like, these are my experiences. But I'm realizing that I'm gonna, you know, release them so they can, you know, help somebody, man. I'm still getting used to it. I'm out doing public speaking and stuff like that. So I want to perfect that, and then I want to start putting it on camera so people can, you know, see that I'm not just, you know what I'm saying, just doing anything or saying anything. But this is my story right here, and this is the process that I'm going. These are the things that I'm going through. These are things I'm overcoming, I'm conquering, and everything like that, man. So I just hope I do my part, man. So don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Peace.